Don, thank you.
First up, Don.
Don says.
Don, my first question.
This is Don Yaeger.
New York Times bestselling author Don
Yaeger
Yaeger
is a world-renowned author and motivational speaker.
Don Yaeger has one of the best basketball stories of all time.
One shot, one moment.
He's awesome, baby, with a capital S.
Yes. You ready?
I'm your campaign manager. Let's
Me
do
and
it.
you. Let's do it.
Few people can really experience the exciting resume that Don has had. He's a PTPer, baby.
Study, great winner.
How can I get better? How can I get
Dude,
stronger?
I'm ready.
Tell that story. Tell your children.
Hi, I'm Don Yaeger, and I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity a while back to share with you my first speech on what makes the great ones great. Based on the reaction and the feedback from your team after listening to the high performance lessons of Michael Jordan, Warwick Dunn, Coach John Wooden, and Walter Payton, it is obvious that I was speaking to an amazing group of people who want to be great. For my lifetime of discussions with the great winners, there are more stories to tell. I'd love to come back and share them with you. If you recall when we talked, I mentioned that there were 16 characteristics of greatness. The next 4 characteristics are equally impactful, with even more great winners. True champions like Shaquille O'Neal and the 2006 Miami Heat helped me share the value of visualizing victory, of each person seeing themselves as successful before the game or the business meeting even begins. Have you actually thought through what you're going to say when they give you what you came for? Have you figured out how exactly you're going to say thank you for the order that you came for or the loan that you came there to make? Have you thought through all the way to the end of the game? Because if you haven't, then you haven't fully visualized yourself as successful. You may also remember the YouTube sensation of Dick and Rick Hoyt. The book I wrote with this amazing father and son duo is definitely an emotional one, but it's also an absolute on the topic of conducting your life and your work with integrity. This is a man that has never won a single race. He's never finished first in any race he's ever run. And yet I will tell you, he's one of the greatest champions I've ever had a chance to be around. Because Dick Hoyt embodies what I will tell you is an absolute. You want to look at the characteristics of the truly great. You want to look at the answers that these amazing champions have given to that question, what allows you to go from good to great? Dick Hoyt will tell you, you know what, I didn't do it to get famous. I didn't do it to have people know who I was. The YouTube thing, I had no idea. He'd never even heard of YouTube when people started calling. He did it because it was the right thing to do. He did it because he lives his life comfortably with integrity. The movie The Blind Side turned the life of football player Michael Orr into a box office hit. But what I learned when writing a book with Michael gave me a unique perspective on the value of setting goals and making daily improvement a part of your chase for greatness. You're now wealthy beyond all imagination. And you could probably, if you stop today, live on what you have and never have to work another day in your life. Right? Yet every day in this oppressive heat, you are out there doing what others won't do. Why is that? And Michael Orr said, you know what, I learned a long time ago that the day I stop is the day somebody's catching up. Now I thought, here's a guy in one of the worst educational environments of all, right? I mean, given all the challenges he had in his life, he could have said, I'm 80, it's over, and I'm 23. Instead, Michael Orr works out harder every day than almost anybody I've ever met. And when you really get it, what he is expressing is an absolute. We are in this to get better every day. If we're not in it to get better every day, someone's catching up. I'm eager to share those 3 characteristics plus another nugget of wisdom from my mentor, UCLA coach John Wooden, who I talked a little about in the first speech as well. Coach Wooden's discussion about teaching his players how to put their shoes and socks on created the ultimate success story for business giant Federal Express. You know, my wife always says that I get to tell stories I love about people I love. Like the first speech you had me deliver, this speech is that and more. Thank you for beginning this conversation of greatness with me. Now I want to continue growing greatness with you and your team. Thank you very much.